calls.
Yep.
219-845-1100.
Before we go to the phone calls, I got this in from Chuck Poland. Robert Redford, dead Oscar winner and barefoot in the park icon, was 89 years old. That was just breaking news, New York Post, 2 minutes ago.
Wait a second. Robert Redford died?
That was what was just sent in. I just wanted to make sure that was said before we get to the callers.
Do you know who he is?
He looks familiar, but I'm not that great with actors' names.
Google some of his movies.
All right, best Robert Redford movie off the top of your head.
About to look to see.
It's not The Way We Were. It's not The Horse Whisperer or Jeremiah Johnson. It's not The Sting.
I liked him in The Horse Whisperer.
Did you like him in Out of Africa?
I don't.
He did a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Wow. Yeah.
I liked him in The Horse Whisperer.
I gotta say, one of his earliest movies was his best. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Right? The Natural. I'm not a fan of that movie at all. And there's a Great Gatsby. Remember he played Gatsby? He did great in that.
Yeah.
Anybody want to call in and tell us your favorite Robert Redford movie? I know what his second best movie is. And you got to watch this one if you really want to go into network news. All the President's Men.
That sounds familiar. That's probably one movie my parents are like, yep, movie education, we're going to watch it. Because that's all the movies when I'm like, I don't know that movie. They're like, sit down, we're watching it right now, no matter what I'm doing. I'm like, I got homework, you got 2 hours.
Woodward and Bernstein. And they were put in difficult positions as journalists during the Watergate era. It is... You know what? Butch Cassidy and All the President's Men are my top two. You got to give me two.
I'm taking the horse Whisperer.
Horse Whisperer.
Yeah, because he was
corny.
an older cowboy. I liked him in that.
What's the one where the woman, Hispanic woman, it wasn't J-Lo, was it? She comes back to town. I'll think of it in a second. 219-845-1100. Hey, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Good morning, Verlie, Jim, and I can never pronounce her name.
Adrianna.
Adrianna, I got to say something to you about how you said your mom told you no dress, no shorts. When me and my sister lived at home when we were young, I could get away with murder. I could run around with my buddies. I could do anything. My mom was so protective with my sister, and for many years, my sister kind of hated me because I could get away with murder, and she was like glued to the house, And I kind of, when you said that about no pants, no shirt, no shorts, this, that, I was laughing because I'm thinking about when I was young, how my mom and dad was so protective with my sister, and I got away with murder.
Mm-hmm. I remember all the time my brother, he was able to wear like shorts to church and everything, even though, yes, you weren't supposed to, but it's 100 degrees outside. He's wearing cargo shorts, and I'm like, okay, yeah, if he's going to wear shorts, like, I'm younger, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to follow my older brother, and then they're like, nope, pants. I'm like, it's 100 degrees outside. They're like, pants, let's go.
Now, the reason I called in this morning is because there's good people and bad people. A person has a good side and a bad side. Now, I want to talk about the situation with the Griffith guy charged, okay? I'm not going to mention no names because we all know who he is.
Right.
Okay? I don't mention names. When my situation July 9th kicked in and happened, so many people came to my help. I'm not going to mention all the names. I had just added another person to it. I'm not going to mention the people's names because I don't want to bring them out to the public.
Hold on a second, Mike. Verlie and Adrianna, I don't mean to cut in on you, but I'm going to go down the hall for a little bit. They're going to take this over. Okay, yeah, thanks. All right, take it over.
Okay, and then about a hot mic, turn your mic off, Jim, because when I was on hold, I heard a touch tone and it says, "Are you at work? Are you at work? I'm waiting on Adrian. I got to go." You got to watch these hot mics. I heard it while I'm on hold. But now let me talk about my situation, okay? My last hospital, before I got transferred to rehab, Mike kicked in. I shouldn't have mentioned his name. Okay, well, which I'm going to. He came to my house, got my paperwork, everything. He was tremendously helped me to get help with North Township trustee.
Wonderful.
Okay, you got a good side of people. Now I was sent messages and sent something about when the situation. I had gotten out of the hospital, out of the rehab after what happened with him, and I kept my mouth shut because unless I hear it or see it in the paper or it's public, I'm not going to plaster it on my sites or anything. I kept my mouth shut. Okay, but okay, it's shame of what he did. You know, it'll fall out in the courts, but you know, you got to give him a little credit because the situation of what I was in, situation I was in. He came to my help. He did not need to do that. Okay, but the thing is, you know, somebody sent me a message about it, and I kind of told my wife about it, and she kind of got scared about it, and then. Because he was here a couple times when I was not here. I was in the hospital, and I didn't worry about it. You know, I didn't really know him.
All right, Mike, thank you. I appreciate the phone call. He did say one thing there, and he said what he did, it's allegedly did, and we'll just leave it at that. All right, 219-845-1100. Hey, you're on the air.
Jim, Vinny, Verlie, good morning.
Hi, Vinny. How you doing?
We're doing okay. How are you? Long time. How you guys been?
How's Sandy doing?
Not too good. She was in hospital September 4th, which is a Thursday, the 5th, and the 6th. This time's a little bit different, you know. So I reached out to people that I knew. Rick Kubik. I reached out to Rick. I told him what was going on, that he was going to pass everything along with Jim, and it's this time it's a little bit different. You know, she's frightened. You know, she's scared. And I told her,
Vinny. I mean, I have not talked to Rick yet.
Okay. I talked to Rick. I told Rick it's different. He asked me how I was doing. I said, Rick, this is different, and I'm scared out of my mind. I try not to show it to Sandy. I told her everything's going to be okay. But in the back of her mind, said, how can everything be okay when I can't remember things? You know, and her Parkinson's is increasing, the medication that she's on. They took her off of it because she was getting sick. You know, so we're just going to, we're just taking it slow, and our prayers are with Trucker Mike and everybody else who was going through some health issues, and our prayers are with everyone, Jim.
Hey, Vinny, our prayers are with you too, my friend. We all know, I mean, I know that you've been open about this story, about what Sandy has gone through in terms of domestic violence. And I think that you telling her story has opened up some discussion for us over the years. Too bad it had to come under those circumstances, but it's just, our hearts are with you, my friend. But my heart is not with you. Yesterday, as the Cubs beat the snot out of the Pirates, and it made me feel so good.
Right. Robert Redford. Sandy and I were watching WGN News, and it came over that Robert Redford died. Jim, 2 movies: The Sting, and Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
I'm with you. I like it. Thanks a lot, Vinny. Hey, you know the one I was thinking of? Thank you. An Unfinished Life. It's not a very well-known one, but it was Morgan Freeman and Robert Redford and Jennifer Lopez. Go watch that one. After you watch All the President's Men, there you go. Hey, let's take some more phone calls. 219.
No phone calls.
All right, good. Hey, Charlie Kirk was assassinated last week. Let's start with Adrianna. How'd you handle it?
I don't know if you want to start with me.
All right, let's go to Verlie.
Yeah, go to Verlie, and then because I have a whole rant. That's why I'm like, go to
You
Verlie.
have a whole rant. Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
I do.
Keep that rant to yourself on this one. But anyways, go ahead.
Condolences definitely to his family. No one should have to witness their loved one being murdered in real time. The videos, I haven't watched the video because just like with other videos of people being killed. I'm not trying to see that. So I will never view the video. I didn't look at the video of Floyd. But it is tragic what happened.
What does it say about America?
What, that someone's assassinated?
No, I mean, why is this happening?
But I mean, President Lincoln was assassinated, Martin Luther King, Robert Kennedy, John F. Kennedy. Throughout history, assassinations have happened based on people being opposed to someone else's views, being opposed to what someone else is doing in the world. There are unhinged people out there who feel it's their duty to make America right, what they see as right in their eyes, by eliminating people that they feel make it wrong. So there's no surprise there. What is a surprise is the fact that they have made this man a martyr. So now all of a sudden, you know, he's being put up for sainthood. What is not surprising is the fact that from the minute he was killed, flags went to half-staff, America went into mourning, and accusations were made that turned out to be unfounded in regard to who committed this. All the nasty rhetoric that was spilled out into the world was based on left versus right and right versus left, instead of the fact that this is a human. We all have the same blood. I mean, we have different blood types, but we still are.
We come
still
from
function.
Flesh and bone.
Right. So to make it about left versus right and all the nasty rhetoric directed to the left, to Democrats, when it turns out this young man is a MAGA family with huge Trump supporters, Mormon, you know. So now then all of a sudden they have to back it up, and then it has to become a different narrative. Then you have the Vice President of the United States foregoing 9/11 commemoration, where hundreds, thousands lost their lives, to go console the widow of Charlie Kirk. Then not only that, he comes to host his show, fill-in host his show, and now he's telling people to start doxing individuals. So people are losing their job for their freedom of speech. And he's telling people to go out there, when you see somebody posting something, turn them into their employer. Put them out there with malicious intent on social media. Expose them. How is that healing? How is that bringing the country together when you have the president, the vice president, the Congress, Fox News, every podcast, every right-wing station spilling hateful rhetoric against other people?
Army Colonel Scott Stevens has been suspended from official duties after social media posts purportedly belonging to him celebrated the killing of Charlie Kirk. The Army told Fox News. An Army spokesperson confirmed Stevens' suspension and said there is an investigation underway into his conduct. The death of Charlie Kirk in Utah was tragic. However, we can take comfort in the fact that Charlie was doing what he loved best, spreading hate, racism, homophobia, misogyny, and transphobia on college campus. One post read, "I would offer empathy, but Charlie hated empathy. As we have been told in the wake of so many other tragedies, we have to move on. We can't make this political." That post right there got him suspended.
See, that's
Should
crazy.
he have been suspended for that?
No. What happened to the freedom of speech? So the right is big about freedom of speech. They're big about right to bear arms. But when people utilize those same rights, then all of a sudden they're demonized. And here's an educator at a school district who has been demonized for a post that she didn't even write, but because she has the same name, she's getting threats. People are getting threats for sharing their opinion over. I mean, granted, like I said, it's tragic that Charlie Kirk was killed. But the fact that they have made him this individual that you can't say anything negative about without a huge backlash, these are the same people that have nothing good to say about Biden, Kamala Harris, or anyone else on what they consider the other side, who are now demonizing people who have an opinion about Charlie Kirk. Most people didn't even know who he was.
Well, the thing is, people are now blaming it on colleges, too, because that individual went to the university, the one who committed the...
Tyler Robinson.
Yeah, who committed the crime.
He went there for less than a semester.
But that's the thing, that people are... It was a senior advisor. This was 17 hours ago. I believe I'm saying the name right. Carly Lake, that was speaking, and had said that it is the college's fault. It's college campuses, and it is college's fault for brainwashing your children. Parents, don't send your children to college because they are indoctrination camps. And if your kids will get brainwashed.
Well, they don't have to worry because Charlie Kirk didn't go to college. So where did he get his brainwashing?
If you could get brainwashed in a semester, there's not a lot there, because if it's one semester, not even a whole year, not even 6 months, if you can get brainwashed in that amount of time, there's something else wrong. And also, it's not brainwashing, it's called being educated, but I guess we don't want that happening in the world. We don't want people being educated. And for all of this stuff to happen, how they were saying that they didn't really do a lot for 9/11 because we were mourning Charlie Kirk. He was a social media influencer and a podcaster. He was not a politician, yet he's getting presidential send-offs and military, I don't know what the appropriate term is, but when somebody passes away, they have a kind of military send-off in a sense. When did he win the war? When was he enlisted? That made me more upset because I come from a family of people who have served in the military. And to see that happen, I felt that was very disrespectful, because for the individuals that I've had seen it 5 times, and it makes me cry every single time because it's just that remembrance of it. But this man wasn't enlisted. He didn't fight in a war. And why are the flags half-mast for him but not for the school shooting that happened at the same time? I understand that this is a tragedy that has happened, but the thing is, we're making him seem that he was a president, that he was a political leader, when he went to conservative college campuses and debated people, and that was what he did. Yes. And did he love doing that? Yes, he did. Did he make a career out of it? Yes. And that was his livelihood for his family. But we're treating him as if he's the president of the United States. And the fact that Donald Trump said, I hope that the killer gets the death penalty. You guys were all pray for the shooter. And now you're a president saying, I hope he gets a death penalty? It's an eye for an eye, really?
Well, that's nothing different for him. He did something similar with the Central Park individuals who were accused of raping or beating up a woman. That never happened. They never did. Rather, something happened to her, but they weren't the perpetrators. And he took a full-page ad out to call for that. So that's nothing new for him to jump to conclusions. We haven't even used allegations in this regard. Mm-hmm. From the time that they started looking for this individual that the FBI didn't find, his family turned him in.
Well,
but
how you're saying that they immediately were saying that's a leftist, liberal Democrat that did this. And then when they found out that he came from a MAGA very right-wing side, they changed the narrative. But the thing was, when they said, we wanted it to be somebody that was out of state, we wanted it to be somebody that wasn't from this country, but it was one of us. Who is us? I'm sorry, who is us? There shouldn't be a thing that is said. That is just so enraging because you don't want to take that responsibility that, yeah, it could happen, but instead you're painting it red and blue instead of saying that this is something that happens in America. This is something that people have to fear. And yes, people are like, he died so tragically. Yeah, now you know why people are making it such a big deal when school shootings happen. This was a school shooting. This is what it was. Yes, it was an assassination, but it was also a school shooting. And the fact that people were saying that it's one of us, no, it was an American citizen. Do we want to talk about the bigger issues here, or do we want to just keep painting it red and blue instead of the actual
So you brought up Utah. And Governor Cox, Spencer Cox, has been in, he's implored the country to dedicate themselves to end a cycle of violent division, echoing as saying that people should learn to, quote, disagree better. And it's pretty it's almost like good trouble in its own way. And he's asking us to turn down the nation's political temperature. He has long stood out as a rarity in a Republican Party led by President Donald Trump. But his commanding role with the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk gives his call to end the cycle of violent division a new prominence.
I applaud him. And then now the right is so negative toward him for stating for making that statement of bringing people together versus further dividing.
And the thing is, people will, as you said, like, people are getting fired from their jobs because they are on the opposite side of this, that they don't really see why America is so attached to this story and why they're mourning so much. And people are coming up to other individuals, how dare you not mourn him? He was a God-given man, and all these different things. If you saw him in that light, that is your opinion. Other people didn't see him in that light because those individuals who may not have saw him in that light were the minority groups that he attacked, that he dispute hateful rhetoric to. So, yeah, they may think that it is a tragic crime, but all of these quotes of him coming up saying that he had no empathy, that there needs to be gun deaths to have our Second Amendment right, that people of color and race and ethnicity aren't as smart as those who are Caucasian. There's so many different things that this man has said that's why people aren't really mourning him, and that's going to get them fired from their jobs. It's insane that that's something that people have to fear. Now, like, yes, your freedom of speech can be taken away, but it's going to cost you your job that you could have been the best at, and they're going to fire you just because you don't agree with your boss.
So you know what's really interesting is two words, woke and doxing. When people made the reference to people being woke, it became a negative thing and directed to the left. Now, all of a sudden, this term doxing, which is a new term, basically being used new. I don't know when the word was first invented, but this term of doxing, of putting stuff out on social media with malicious intent, going after people. Now that's a term that's being used on the right. And is it getting the same attention as woke was? If someone was woke, then it was a bad thing. Now that you're doxing, isn't that a bad thing?
I look at woke as you're educated. I don't look at it as a bad thing. You're
educated, you're aware, you know what's going on.
And that's why people are, like, fearful because they're like,
I have to disagree with both of you there.
Really?
Well,
I want to hear your point on that because
I'm just enjoying this. And Verlie has resisted everything that I've tried to do to get you to do a podcast, but I think that you got to realize that your message is very important right now, whether people agree with it or not. I think woke went too far, and it caused a lot of damage to having open-mindedness to what was happening. Hold on a second. Hey, Suarez, she's working right now. Can you be quiet? All right? We're talking about something, and you're going to come in and start talking to the producer. That's not going to work. All right. But anyways, he writes us a check, so I better be nicer. I fully believe it went too far. And I told people that during the Chancellor Keon thing that went on here with I said that's the top of the market. There's going to be backlash. This should not be happening. From that moment, there has been major backlash. What I think will happen is what you're right about, Verlie, is that doxing is somewhat the equivalent of being woke. But if woke went too far, perhaps this is going too far, and what will the backlash be next?
Well, it's becoming a fascist state. It's almost becoming like a communist state where you're afraid if you speak out that you're going to be singled out and basically ostracized. Many, like you said, people losing jobs, military people losing jobs. But this isn't new because a lot of people, based on their feelings about Donald Trump, lost their jobs.
Do we have 2 people scheduled for 8 o'clock?
No, so Town of Munster is scheduled next week for 8 o'clock. Hospice is at 8:30. They thought that today was the 8 o'clock spot, but it's at 8 o'clock we have Calumet Painting, and
Wait
then
a second.
at 8:30 it's
Town of Munster's here?
Yes.
All right, well, I'll deal with the scheduling here in a second, but we'll do Calumet Painting right now, and then we'll figure out who goes at 8:30.
It's Town of Munster.
Oh, it is? Mm-hmm. And are they out there?
Yes, because they thought that it was this show instead of next show that's at 8.
Okay, good enough.
All right, so do we have callers? Because our time is coming to an end. Let's take the callers real quick.
Go ahead.
Good morning, people.
Good morning.
What are you doing with your life?
I'm staying away from everybody else because this world is going crazy. It's like, stop the world. I want to get off.
Yeah, there we go. I'm done.
Ball of confusion.
Oh, my goodness. Temptations.
You know what? You're right
telling
about it. The world's like being stuck on the Borman right now. You just want to
I don't
get
care
off,
about the
right?
Borman. I don't care about anybody's thoughts. It's ridiculous. It's terrible. It's disgusting. Whether the guys are right, whether he's a left, whether I'm a right, whether I'm a left. I'm tired of it. It doesn't, I don't know. I just think of a person being a person.
So let me ask you this, because you were involved in politics.
No,
No, never involved in
absolutely
politics. So you never looked at it as right and left.
No,
Never.
because, no, I
Yes.
can't. That's like looking at black and white to me. And there is, we're all human beings. We're all supposed to take care of each other. I am so disgusted with what I've read on my Facebook that other people who are my friends or family have put on there. It doesn't matter what he was. He was a human being. Everybody should mourn the way they want to mourn, but don't keep throwing it at me. To be honest, I didn't know who he was.
See?
Had no clue who the man was. Okay,
But you know now.
I do know now, but you know what? I've also heard of what he was about. I've heard him debate, the college kids. But so what? You got to take what belongs to you and put it in your mind. What happened to kindness? What happened with, people taking care of people and people wondering, are they okay? That's all gone now.
Yes. Yes.
Nobody cares about others. I don't care about the feeling part, but we're just not caring about each other.
I'm going to let you leave it at that because we don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, we're done.
We got
to go.
We're going to take them real quick, let them say their
Two
point,
callers,
and then
yes.
move on. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Verlie, good morning.
Good morning.
Number one, no female should ever be touched against her will. That's the standard.
Yes.
Bottom line.
Yes.
Number two, history shows us that there have been allegations out there, very well publicized nationally, that the whole story was made up. So innocent until proven guilty.
Which story are you talking about?
I'm referring to Mad Max case.
He is innocent until proven guilty, and that's how we're trying to portray it. What do you say? I don't get your message either.
Jed, is Matt Mack a friend of yours?
I mean, I know him, yeah.
Is he a friend of yours?
I don't know. I don't think that's germane to this, but go ahead. What's your point?
The point is, it seems like you tried to distance yourself from him as much as you possibly could this morning.
No, I think there's a learning moment here. And the learning moment, and I wanted Adrianna to be here, is that this is obviously a very sensitive case, and I want her to learn how to handle it from a kind of a management section of it. And one of the things is I wanted to point out that I thought there was an error in the Post-Tribune article, and that's all. Mad Mac has been a caller. He's probably called 2,000 times. He said some very derogatory things about women, and he said, not women, but it's certainly to Michelle Quinn, and she wrote an article in the Post-Tribune, and I understand the way that she feels. There's a lot that goes into this, but your original discussion there of innocent until proven guilty is how this should be handled. All right, we got to take one more, then we got to go. Hey, you're on the air.
Good morning, Verlie. Good morning, Jed.
Good morning,
Hey, dude, how's that skunk?
I'll find out.
All right, good.
Hey, can I be a fill-in host?
Can you be a what?
A fill-in host? I know it bothers you.
No, you can't. You cannot be a fill-in host. It takes a little bit more. Hey,
wait a minute.
I know you got points to make, but he sent me a picture last night of a skunk outside of his cabin. I'm telling you, I got skunked once. Ooh. That is the most I smelled for a month.
Oh my
Is
God,
it true you have to use tomato sauce?
Yes.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's
I
what
see
they
it in the movies, but I never seen
it.
Never
It didn't
actually
work?
seen it done.
It didn't. I mean, I took
Well,
the
you
tomato.
need more than one can.
Well, no, I went and took the tomato bath, and I was still working at the Board of Trade, and all my guys were like, dude, you're nasty. And I went and did, and I got prescribed stuff, and I changed and threw all my clothes away. I smelled for a month. Wow. You got to watch out, Alex.
Wait till that skunk smells me the next time after I'm bathed for 2 weeks. Hey, Verlie.
Yes.
All right, we got to go. We're behind schedule.
Oh,
hey,
sorry.
guys.
Hey, one quick thing, Jim.
Sure.
I don't see on that article where Michelle's byline is on there. So just so you know, it just says by Post-Tribune. It doesn't have her name on there.
All right, well, whoever it was that
Yeah.
put the Post-Tribune, I disagree with that characterization. Certainly, it is a very dark time, and there are so many difficult things in the region and in America, but we're just going to do what we have for 102 years. We're just going to try to digest them. We're going to try to teach the media people of the future. There's about 8 of them right now, including Adrianna, who's emerging and understanding it. But understand this, that I think the woman who just called in is that there's good people and there's kindness out there. And that's kind of what we're built on. And I have full faith that we will come back to prioritize the kindness. May not be there now, you may not feel it, but we will return to that. And you know what that's called? That's called hope. So stick with that, huh? Do you have anything else?
I have faith, but I don't know if I have as much hope as you have. My faith is in God.
I love disagreeing with you.
Well, someone sent me a text, and they said, "Oh, Jim's going to tell you not to come back again." I said, "I don't think so."
No,
He's
listen.
gonna tell you come back on Thursday.
No, let me tell you that I very rarely fully disagree with people, partly because, honestly, I've been doing this so long. There's only maybe 3 people in the region, I won't tell you the other 2, that I know will stand up to me and might be either as good as I am or better. And you're one of them. And I love disagreeing with Verlie, no matter how minor or how major. And I always appreciate you coming in.
And I appreciate being here. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll be right back on the Voice and Face of the Region.